Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. Let's begin with the practice question. The Sal forest tortoise has been listed under which of the following categories of the IUCN Red List? The correct answer is critically endangered. World Tortoise Day was recently observed to emphasize the need to protect turtles and tortoises and their disappearing habitats. A temple in Kasargod has been protecting and conserving various tortoise species for several centuries. Devotees of Thoroth Adukat Bhagavati Temple at Moluthumkavu in Bedadukka Panchayat believe that offering rice to tortoises will redeem them of their sins. Sal forest tortoise is also known as the elongated tortoise or Indo-testudo elongata. Habitat is widely distributed over eastern as well as northern India and Southeast Asia. In IUCN Red List, it is critically endangered. Moving on, consider the following statements with respect to Manipur. The Barak River flows through the east of Manipur, shares a border with 3 Indian states and has an international boundary with Bangladesh. As we have to select the correct statement or statements, both are incorrect. D is the correct answer. A construction worker was killed and 4 others were injured in Manipur when a suspected improvised explosive device exploded. Manipur is located in the northeastern part of the country, bordered by Indian states of Nagaland, Assam, Mizoram, and by Myanmar to the south and east. Its main physical feature is Loktak Lake, which is the source of Manipur River. In the west, the Surma River, also known as the Barak River in Manipur, has cut a narrow, steep-sided valley through the West Manipur Hills. Moving on, Maitree Express and Maitree Express are railway links to join India and Bangladesh is the correct answer, option D. The Maitree Express train service between Dhaka and Kolkata resumed from Dhaka Cantonment Railway Station on Sunday. The expected journey time was about 8 hours. Another train service is the Bandhan Express, which runs between Bangladesh, southwestern, Khulna and Kolkata route, runs 2 days a week, and the development came as a third service, Maitree Express, is expected to be launched on June 1st to be run between West Bengal's northern New Jalpaiguri and Dhaka. With respect to the onset of monsoon in India, consider the following statements. The Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal branches of the monsoon merge over the northeastern part of the Ganga plain, and Delhi usually receives monsoon showers from the Bay of Bengal branch by the end of June. We have to select the not correct statement over here. First statement is not correct, second is correct, A is the correct answer. The southwest monsoon has arrived in Kerala 3 days before its normal onset date of June 1st. Generally, the monsoon arrives at the southern tip of the Indian peninsula by the first week of June. Subsequently, it divides into 2 branches, the Arabian branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. Arabian Sea branch reaches Mumbai about 10 days later. The Bay of Bengal rapidly advances and reaches Assam in the first week of June. The monsoon winds are then deflected by high mountains and move towards west over the Ganga plain. The Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal branches of the monsoon merge over the northwestern part of the Ganga plains, and Delhi usually receives monsoon showers from the Bay of Bengal branch by the end of June. Western UP, Punjab, Haryana, Eastern Rajasthan, they experience monsoon by the first week of July. The National Council for Teachers' Education was envisaged as a statutory body in which of the following years? The correct answer is option C, 1986. The NCTE has launched an online portal to streamline the process of recognition of teacher education programs for higher education institutions and teacher education institutions. The NCTE, in its previous status since 1973, was an advisory body of the central and state governments. It couldn't perform essential regulatory functions to ensure maintenance of standards in teacher education and preventing proliferation of substandard teaching education institutes. The NPE 1986 and the program of action thereunder envisaged a National Council for Teacher Education with statutory status. It came as a statutory body into existence in pursuance of the National Council for Teachers Education Act 1993 on the 17th August 1995. Moving on to the next question. The national capital of this country is situated on a high plateau in the northern Andes mountain. The country is bordered by Panama. It shares its coast with the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. Which of the following countries is being referred to in the above mentioned statement? The correct answer is Colombia. Colombia is a country in northwestern South America. Its 1600 kilometers of coast to the north are bathed by the waters of Caribbean Sea, and 1300 kilometers of coast to the west are washed by the Pacific Ocean. The country is bordered by Panama, which divides the 2 bodies of water on the northwest by Venezuela and Brazil to the east and by Peru and Ecuador to the south. Moving on, Bogota, the national capital, is situated on a high plateau in the northern Andes mountain. Moving on, which of the following is or are the characteristics of millet crops? Nutrient-rich content, drought tolerance, photoinsensitivity, resilience to climate change. All are a characteristic of millets, so D is the correct answer. Millet farming is on an expansion mode in Kerala. The United Nations declared 2023 as the International Year of Millets. They are back as a superfood. Millets are a rich source of protein, fiber, minerals, iron, calcium, and have a low glycemic index. These are known for their nutrient-rich content and characteristics like drought tolerance, photoinsensitivity, resilience of climate change. They are grown in arid and semi-arid tracts under low rainfall conditions, and India is the 5th largest exporter of millets globally. Nearly 41% of the total global production was made by India in 2020. Jal Jeevan Mission comes under the Ministry of Jal Shakti is the correct answer. Jal Jeevan Mission achieves 50% completion milestone. 50% rural households now have access to tap water connections within their premises. Har Ghar Jal is a flagship program of the Union government implemented by the Jal Jeevan Mission under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. It aims to ensure tap water connection in every rural household by 2024. Consider the following statements about surrogacy law in India. Surrogacy is prohibited for commercial purposes. National Surrogacy Board to be the regulatory body at national level. As we have to select the correct answer, both are correct. C is the correct answer here. A couple has moved the Bombay High Court in the case related to Surrogacy Act enacted in December last year. Surrogacy is permitted only for altruistic purposes or for couples who suffer proven infertility or disease. Surrogacy is prohibited for commercial purposes, including for sale, prostitution, or any other form of exploitation. National Surrogacy Board is to be the regulatory body at national level. Consider the following statement regarding West Nile virus. It's a mosquito-borne, single-stranded DNA virus. The virus was first isolated in Uganda in 1937. So we have to select the correct statement. Second is correct. B is the correct answer. The Kerala Health Department is on alert after the death of a 47-year-old from Thrissur due to West Nile virus. The West Nile virus is a mosquito-borne single-stranded RNA virus which is a member of the Flavivirus genus and belongs to the Japanese encephalitis antigenic complex of the family Flaviviridae, that is according to WHO. Collects species of mosquitoes. They act as the principal vectors for transmission, and it is transmitted by infected mosquitoes between and among humans and animals including birds. It was first isolated in a woman in the West Nile district of Uganda in 1937. Provision for reservation and public employment is made under, the correct answer is Article 16 Clause 4. Equality of opportunity in public employment is mentioned under Article 16 Clause 1 of the Constitution. 16 Clause 4 vests a discretion on the government to consider providing reservation for the socially and educationally backward sections of the society. It's a settled law and there is no fundamental right to reservation under Article 16 Clause 4. Rather, it's an enabling provision for providing reservation if the circumstances so warrant. Now let's move on to the practice question. Which of the following equation is correct? GDP is equal to gross value added plus taxes earned by the government minus subsidies provided by the government. Gross value added is equals to GDP and taxes earned by the government minus subsidies provided by the government. GVA is equals to GDP minus taxes earned by the government plus subsidies provided by the government. GDP is equals to GVA minus taxes earned by the government plus subsidies provided by the government. Answer it correctly. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.